Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are doing good. Welcome back to the channel. Coin and Stocks here, coming at you with another one. Today we're going to be taking a look at AMC and GME stock. At the time of recording, it is Wednesday, August 19th. This is after hours. So none of this is financial advice. Just going to be here sharing my thoughts. And at the end of the video, towards the end of the video, I'll be sharing one position I am in. I'm currently in AMC stock, so I'll be sharing that. So be sure to stay to the end of the video. So right here, right off the gate, AMC on a Wednesday afternoon closed at $2.52, up 5.88% for the day. AMC has tested this 50 moving average on the daily time frame, and now is bouncing off away from this. Another thing I like on this trend that we have right here, you could see it broke under and now it's starting to go above it. I do like seeing that. Another thing to note here is that on the daily time frame, this 100 moving average is getting ready to cross the 200 moving average. That has not happened since 2021. So we just need AMC to hold this area. Because we're gonna get this cross pretty soon. So that is really good to see there here on AMC. Now the first quarter moon is already in effect, so it'll be interesting what we see from here. But I think the following week is where a lot of interesting stuff happens, because that's when we have the partial lunar eclipse that's going to take place on the 27th and 28th of this following week. So that is something to look forward there. So I think this week we're gonna play around in this playing field right here, but next week I think we can potentially break this zone, and we could possibly have a gamma squeeze all the way to $9. Now, why do I think $9 is a key level? A big reason why I do think is the squeeze that we got here back in 2024 of May. A lot of times when we get some flash squeezes, a lot of times it doesn't quite get to this top area. So, I have a limit sell order to sell some shares, like about 2,200 shares at $9.23. That'll be a profit taking of $20,000. So, just a good way to take some profits off of the table, just in case we get, a flash squeeze. But I say it time and time again, a lot of times the squeezes do take place. I'm going to drop back down to the daily time frame. They do take place after the new moon. I'm going to do just a quick little back test just to show some confluences of that in the past. This was back in May 2024. You got the new moon right here selling off, and then we get our squeeze. A lot of times new moons is when the tops, local tops, full moons local bottoms typically. But when we get setups like this where the market's already down, it starts selling off, getting you to think that it's going to continue to sell off, but instead it actually does the opposite. And this tends to happen a lot of times on the eclipses too. So, you got a lot of stuff lining up here for AMC. So, this is getting very interesting. This is, very good. A lot of euphoria is beginning to creep in, with the Bitcoin, BMNR, MSTR. A lot of these crypto is starting to starting to get going. You know, there was a lot of 10% gains in the crypto markets. So, you know, markets do seem to be waking up, especially here for AMC. Look at the daily candles, how big these bars look in comparison to all these baby bars. Look at all these baby bars compared to these. These are, you know, good volume bars right here. So that is, you know, really good to see there. So, you know, it is getting interesting. This is a huge options week on the 21st. You know, I think the market makers will try to get it to max pain, which is about $2.50. You know, I think after this week is when, you know, the magic starts happening here for AMC. So I just thought I'd just give you my insights on AMC, you know, what we could potentially be seeing here moving forward. So next, I just want to jump on over to GME because we got some interesting stuff to talk about with GME. So GME is currently heavily oversold, sitting here at $18.13. After hours, it is sitting at $18.03, up for the day 0.45%. So now, interestingly enough, it's not just GME. But let me just go ahead and turn on this indicator. If you see right here, it's the KC. If you look at the left, the KC20, KC20. I use ATR4, so a shout out to King Reversal Trader King. You know, if you have not subscribed to his channel, you know, I do recommend his channel. Good stuff on there. So if we turn this on, the presetting is ATR2, but you know, I like to have it at ATR4. It shows, you know, this, it widens the Keltner band. I'll just demonstrate that for you guys that are new with this. So I'm going to go ahead and change the multiplier to 2. So this is the standard settings. You'll see that the bands get narrower. So this is the standard. So anytime it gets, you know, below this band or, you know, clear to one of the bands, this band being oversold. If it was up on this higher band right here, that would be this would be oversold, and right now this would be overbought, and this bottom one's oversold. I'm fumbling my words there. But I'm going to go put it back to this setting that we like to have it here on ATR4, which you could see widens the bands right there. So you could see that this is heavily oversold. Just, you know, some quick little back test. You know, a lot of times when you see prices oversold, not just with GME, but any stocks, Forex, you know, gold, silver, you see this time and time again. It's oversold. Then we get, you know, a nice pump to the upside, you know, when it is oversold. You could see that, you know, time and time. We just do a little bit of back testing. So right here, here's another example. Now the interesting thing is that it continues to sell off. Now, you know, if you follow his channel, Trader Reversal King, you know, big shout out to him because he brought this indicators to, you know, my attention. Very good strategy that he has going on. So not only that we have this confluence that, you know, it's selling off close to this, you know, heavily oversold band right here, but if you turn on this, if you go right here, KDJ, if you just leave it at the standard setting, I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. It looks like this. If I move this, let's see. I'm going to move it down below. So this is how it comes standard. This is the KDJ. So if you see right here, I'm actually going to just put it back up just for the sake of this video. That way it could just be a little bit easier. So I'm going to move this back up. There we go. looks kind of messy, but I'm just using my phone here, so just kind of bear with. But you could see right here, if you look at this area, this blue area, these numbers that's changing, this blue area. So if I move the cursor right here, you could see that it is heavily oversold right here. So the lower the number, the higher overbought or oversold it is. So you could see right here on this day, it was at 1250, dropped down to 893. Now it's 8.12. So I mean, this is heavily oversold. This is a time, not financial advice, but this is a time to start accumulating, more heavily, because we can potentially see an upside right here for GME. Now, interestingly enough, I'm going to go, I got a list right here. If you go to tradingview.com, or if you go to Google and you type in oversold list, it gives you a lot of lists, of this. So there's quite a bit of stocks that are doing this currently at the moment. If you look at TTD, Papa John's, is doing the same. A lot of them had this gap to the bottom, and I was like hugging this Keltner Channel on the ATR4. So I'm just going to scroll over, on a couple of them. Here's GME. I'm going to actually turn this off just to kind of clean it up. This is a Nature Sunshine, another one, another good quality stock. So you're seeing this a lot with the markets, so I do think that we are going to get a huge move pretty soon. Another one to look at real quick is BYND. If I could find it, it's up here on my watch list. So BYND also had a nice, it had a nice 10% gain today. Doing the same thing. So, a lot of stocks are doing this. I do think that we're setting up for something big. So yeah, I just thought I'd just shed some light right there with, GME. Great time to start accumulating, not financial advice. So again, this is a Keltner channel. And, if you pair that up with the KDJ, looking at the J, when it's gets to under 10, that's really good price to start buying. If you see it getting to 5 or anything lower, even start, even not a bad idea to start going even more heavier, because more potential to go to the upside. So yeah, I just wanted to share those thoughts with you guys. Shine some light to that. The Keltner channel, really good indicator, really love it. It's a little bit different to the Bollinger Band. I mean, it's kind of the same thing. The only thing is the Keltner channel, I believe it's a little bit more laggier, so it appears more smoother. So it looks a little bit cleaner. So yeah, that's what I got for you guys. So yeah, I got a quick announcement before I get to my trade on UAME, just to give an update. I did start a Discord, so you could see that in the description. You could see that in the comments. Go ahead and join the Discord. It is new. Right there, I'm going to start posting my trades. It is free, no subscription required. It is completely free. Join the Discord, and we'll see you there. So yeah, so I'm gonna jump on over now to the trading segment, which is, I do have a trade with UAME selling cash secured puts, and UAME is doing really good. I have it as a strike price for selling cash secured puts, strike price at $5, expiring September 4th. So, that's coming up in a couple weeks. If I do get a sign, then my average price will be at $4.55. However, if it doesn't, this will be a good trade. Collected really good premiums. UAME, creating this W And now it's starting to push strong, so I hope it continues to push strong. That way it could be a nice clean trade. So yeah, that's basically all I got for you guys. I just wanted to give you guys an update on AMC, GME, and just want to announce my Discord. So I'll see you guys over there. I will be posting my trades on the alert section, so go ahead and look out for that. And if you want to invite your friends, feel free to invite your friends. It is a nice clean, friendly space. So yeah, with all that being said, you could support the channel by hitting the like button, smashing that subscribe button, hitting that notification bell. That way you can get updates like this type of video. So hopefully we get our squeeze pretty soon, as it is looking promising. And with all that being said, have a good rest of your week, and we'll catch you all on the next one. Take care.